scheduled council meeting for Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. I'd like to welcome everyone that's here with us tonight. If you'll please stand with me for the prayer followed by the pledge. Prayer. Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together this evening to handle the business for the citizens of Marion. Lord, please guide us and direct us as we make the decisions for our constituents and this best service for the city of Marion. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, I'd like to welcome everyone that's here this evening. Thank you for coming and taking part in City Council business. Moving on our agenda, though, is item 4, the approval of the minutes that were included in your packet. We had the minutes from our regular scheduled meeting on June the 8th, our public hearing on June the 30th, and a special meeting on June the 30th. We have a motion to approve those minutes as presented in your packet.
I make a motion to approve the minutes, the regular meeting on June 8th, public hearing on June 30th, and special meeting June 30th.
Second.
Second motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next highlight of the meeting would be to honor our employees who work so hard. All our employees, it's hard to pick out one particular employee, but because all our city employees work hard for the citizens of Marion and do a fantastic job. And this month, our Public Works Employee of the Month is Mr. Thomas Johnson. I think Thomas is here. Come on up, Thomas. Thomas, appreciate everything that you do. Our part, appreciate what you're doing. Thomas has been with us for just a while here. He's done a great job. We'll have a picture back here and Thomas will discuss it. Thank you all for getting around and being involved in this. Next on the agenda is Mr. Don Strickland of PDRTA. If you have a few comments you wanted to make to the council. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Brady, Council, for having me this evening. In the past, it's usually been about the beach bus and trying to sustain that each year. And the Myrtle Beach bus is still doing well, taking a lot of folks from Marion and Mullins and even Centenary and Rains, that area going up that way. But I'm here just to share a few more things. Back on May 3rd, this is a partnership that's been going on for some time, but on May 3rd we started demand response services in Marion County. And basically the kind of flyer there tells you a lot about it, but we're bringing a lot of folks from Centenary, Gresham, Britton's Neck, Rains, Sellers, even Nichols. Really, most of them are coming toward Marion. And they're coming from appointments. Some of them are going grocery shopping where there's no grocery stores. They're scheduling up to a day ahead. So if you call me today before 5 o'clock, you can schedule a ride tomorrow. In May, we had 89 trips. In June, we had 147 demand response trips. And this month, as of today, the 13th, we've had over 100. So we're going to surpass 200 most likely for the month of July. And going to need another driver and another bus to be able to sustain that. But this is through a partnership with the Coordinated Council, the Chef Program locally, Build Health Network. It's a grant that was supplied to the Coordinated Council. And there's a lot of players at the table. I'm hoping that the Healthcare Foundation and healthcare partners and some other folks will be able to help provide and sustain this service and grow from there, take this demand response model. We still provide that. It's a door-to-door service. So we go, if it's a wheelchair client We'll go to the yard, we'll pick them up at their door, take them down the ramp, onto the bus to their appointments, and it's going great. A lot of folks are scheduling. It's obviously Marion County, a lot of folks don't realize how vast it is, but it's a pretty big area to cover. But the one thing I want to share with the city is just the sheer amount of people that's coming to Marion. There's not a lot going to Mullins, especially sometimes the Nichols trips, they'll come to Mullins, but a lot of them are coming to Marion. And with this, there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes to come. The beach service is still doing well. Obviously, COVID has impacted us. We were probably about 50% of where we typically are at ridership, and which really wasn't a bad thing for a long time. Folks could actually spread out on the bus and not be on top of each other. It has picked up a lot just in the past 2 months with tourism and everything else, and so that's still going well. With this expanded service, one thing we're operating it, we still have the facility here, and we stage our buses. Our drivers park their personal cars. They get in our buses, do pre-trip inspections, and they start their day. But we're going to need some help within that office, just because the service is really taking off, and I can see it continuing to grow. And so we're going to look to hire at least a dispatcher or two locally, as well as a supervisor that will be housed in our facility here. The state has agreed they're going to pretty much give us enough federal funds to kind of get that facility back in working order. It needs everything from AC units to flooring to paint to ceiling tiles. So we'll look to get that back operational, hire some more folks, obviously buy a lot of fuel locally. Just an economic impact on what we're doing here in Marion. With that being said, the model of PDRT, I've been director now. This is going on my 3rd year, and we've changed quite a bit of things. We're back in all 6 counties that we've been commissioned to serve for the first time in over a decade now. And we're bringing a lot of partners to the table. So a lot of the municipalities, we don't ask for what we have in the past. We're bringing in stakeholders to actually use the services, like healthcare partners and MUSC and places like that. So we're looking to continue growing that. The one thing that I would like to request is if the city sees fit as far as the budget this year for 2021-22, that we possibly what we can do there. The city of Mullins, they're doing $10,000 for 21-22, which will go a long ways. As you all know, we receive federal funds, and we can turn $10,000 into $50,000, and that's basically how it works on the services that we provide. And for many years, we've left federal funds on the table, and they go to other places because we don't have enough local funds to make it happen. So, just with the economic impact and kind of where we're heading, I just hope that the city would consider requests that, maybe matching what Mullins is doing. Hopefully the county is going to be on board with this too. And then we'll bring in other partners to grow this service and give folks access. A lot of our passengers that we're seeing so far, we do have some going to work. We have 3 people from Sellers coming to work in Marion at local restaurants. And the same thing across the board. A lot of them are senior citizens. We have wheelchair clients, walkers, and a number of folks that's using the system, and the need is obviously there. We can see it doubling each month. I hope it slows down at some point, because when you're doing demand response service, if you have 1 or 2 drivers and 2 vehicles and you're picking up 200 people, it's hard to get there, especially when you're having to go 20 miles out to get to them. So I'm excited about the path, the growth, kind of where we're going, and just hope that we can bring in some new partners to sustain what we have in place and get the facility back open and running and providing service, obviously throughout Marion County, but with the main focus here in Marion. Happy to answer any questions.
When you're coming to Marion, where are you dropping off at a specific spot, or are you taking them actually to the food line or to the doctor's office?
Yes, sir. The demand response, we're taking them where they want to go. Okay. So you do have healthcare partners, MUSC. We do have the restaurants, grocery stores. A lot of them are going to pharmacies. The CVS right here on the main drag. Pretty much where their destination is. We're not requiring them to go a long ways off route. In the future, what I would hope is that we'd be able to build more of a fixed route model to go out to the communities and then have 2 or 3 pickups in those communities. It's a cheaper service to run because you're not having to hit so many areas, but the goal with this service and demand response is that we're planning to have more of a fixed route within the city of Marion. And, you know, in a fixed route within these communities, we're doing this in Bennettsville, we're doing it in Dillon now. Hartsville, as of 2019, has it. Sherrall, January this year, they have a fixed route. And you have 30 to 40 stops within the city. So anybody coming in from these outer lying areas, they can connect at a transfer point onto the bus that's running around the city. So the main bus here could be throughout maybe the city of Marion and Mullins. If you're coming in from Britton's Neck or Gresham or wherever, you would connect with that bus and you can go anywhere within the city that you want to get to. Okay. And that's really the model I think that probably would work well. It's doing well in some other counties, and I think Marion, it makes no sense for it not to work. So I think it would be a good solution.
Wonderful. I know we've already passed our budget for 21-22, but I think we did include a little bit of something.
You have a contribution.
Yeah, so we'll get Ms. Patricia to get with you.
Okay.
All right.
Like I said, if there's anything else, we certainly appreciate it, and we'll be. One thing I want to do is start sharing ridership data with the city, so that we don't have to come every time to report it. I think that's a good thing that we started doing. So all of our partners now are getting monthly reports, and they can see where the people are using the services and kind of where they're going.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Right,
Thank you so much.
My sister has used your service, I think last month, to go to Walmart. She's a First Serve patient.
Yes, sir.
And it's pretty good.
She's pleased so far?
She is.
That's great.
Good.
Yeah. We're going to do everything we can to sustain it, make sure it continues on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for what y'all doing. Moving right on our agenda is item number 7, bids on stormwater repairs that were included in your packet. This is for some stormwater repairs down at Withlacoochee Park next to the tennis courts. We got some large stormwater drains that were damaged from the hurricane, and we got a couple other spots along Bobby Gerald Parkway and around the water fountain, our fountain on Bobby Gerald Parkway. There's a pretty good sized sinkhole there. A couple run the hike bike trail and out in the field next to the tennis courts. We had a bid open last week. We put it out to bid. We had 4 individuals to submit bids. We did a sealed bid opening in this room, and as you can see, we had 4 bids. Low bidder being Harrington Construction of Mullins. And it's my recommendation, Mr. Harrington and his crews looked at the job as well as all the other contractors, that we accept Mr. Harrington's bid of $59,996 on repairs to those. And we'll be using FEMA money.
It says FEMA reimbursement.
FEMA reimbursement on this.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion we approve the low bid of Heritage Construction for the bid on the Public Works with the Withlacoochee Bobby Gerald Parkway drainage project to be funded with FEMA money from Hurricane Florence.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is the second reading of the ordinance 21-06, an ordinance to set the rates for the sanitation services. Previously tonight at 6:15, we had a public hearing and presented the new service rates for the dumpsters and rollout carts. And need to see if we have a motion to approve the second reading of this ordinance 21-06.
Move this to, I move to have the ordinance set for the rates for sanitation service, second reading to it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda, our city attorney, Mr. Brogdon, is not able to be with us. Well, I'm skipping ahead, excuse me. But Mr. Brogdon is not able to be with us tonight due to some family obligations. But Mr. Brogdon, do you have anything for us?
I don't, Mr. Mayor, fortunately.
Thank you. Moving right along, Alan Emmons, our administrative report, you got an update?
Yes, sir, just a couple things to bring to council's attention. First, on the stormwater project on Bobby L. Davis, everything's completed except for the paving. And they may have worked out it today. I didn't get a chance to go down there. I don't know if Mr. Fraser about it or not. But that was the only thing they liked, just finishing the asphalt package. The system's in and it's functioning. We checked that D-ring we had a couple weeks ago and it worked.
I know some of those folks that live down there, the yards got messed up.
Yeah, he's cleaning all, he's gonna clean all that. That's what he likes, is that and just some fine tuning. But like I say, all the systems in, the systems functioning well.
Yeah, he's got to do some dressing up around there.
Seems like we went real, right at the time, no rain, and all of a sudden, started getting rain, that kind of slowed it down. But hopefully this week, we can finish everything up. Next thing is the compost site. The new bid regulations went into effect July 1st. So anything we carry to our compost site now, within a year's time, has to be mulched and ground up. Nothing to be left on site now after 1 year unless it's ground up. Not going to be a real big impact on us because ever since we bought the second graphic truck, we've been carrying everything we pick up to the landfill, look a red book. Because we pick up C and D items and yard debris all at the same time now instead of a few days picking up yard debris, a few days picking up C and D items. Now we pick up all as we go on one pass and we've been transferring the plugs. And we will continue to use it because just like the other, last week we had a little high wind during the night, we had some couple trees down, things like that. So we did use the compost site just to save time. But that is the new regulation. So in the future, anything we got on the ground, been there for a year, we got to grind it up. Back into the mulch material. The next thing was, as we've been talking about the last couple of months, and I believe I told you last month that I had been in contact with Ms. Brady back and forth concerning Deacon's nursing home. She did hire a company to have the asbestos survey done. Made everybody a copy of it. She emailed it to me last week. As you can see, it's a pretty extensive report. She is also in the process now of getting a price from a contractor to actually go in and do removal. As soon as she gets that report, have it forwarded to us and not forwarded on to the council, at that point, that's the time where I think we definitely got to try to research maybe some grant opportunities. As you can imagine, just by looking at that report, this is going to be a very expensive project. This could be a $500,000 project.
Or better.
But there is some opportunities out there for some grants. It'll be competitive, but that would be my recommendation. Once we get the actual estimate for removal, we'll have some kind of research grant opportunities.
There are firms out there that will do this, and we can bid it out, or she can bid it out and get us some price, and then we can go to process of writing a grant to see if we can get grant money. But this is going to be a $500,000 to $1 million project.
$500,000, you would have to get a grant.
Oh yeah, we can't afford to do it.
You can't afford to do that.
You're getting support from the county as well,
You can't afford to do
Yeah, well, like I say, the county is willing to help us if once it was clear, and if we undertake the process of doing the demo, that's going to be some issues also. There'll still be some funding involved because the landfills don't want to charge for that amount.
Well, if it's got asbestos, it'll have to go to a special list.
Well, all that has to be.
It'd be all remediated before we get the permit to do it. But with that big of a building, we're not going to be able to haul it straight to the landfill for free.
Yeah.
Or so the county.
But like I said, once I get that number and get it back, get you that estimate back, then we can kind of come up with what kind of money we're looking at and start pursuing some ideas.
I'm sure we got some kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's out there, like I said, it's competitive, but we got to start, get in line, might not get it the first time, but if we keep.
Might take us a couple of bumps to get it.
That's correct.
But eventually get it.
But you got to have this report.
Yeah, that's the first step.
Yeah.
That's the first step, right there.
So we get the first
No, she paid
And
for
she
that.
paid, she's paid for all that, we just trying to help her.
Yeah, sure.
Get there. She's doing all the paying right now, so. But that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Once we get the estimate, then we'll start, working on grant opportunities of where we need to go for that. As Alan was telling you about the landfill, so basically, like I said, everything we're sending now, we send 2 trucks, 2 Mullins daily with the grappler trucks, and we're picking up the C&D and the grass debris. One of the grappler trucks is down. It's been in the shop for a few days. All this electronics on these trucks are great, but when it goes down, it causes a problem. And it's an electronic issue, and we've sent it to the international place to work on getting that fixed. So as soon as we get that back online, we'll have the 2 trucks running. And if we still have a hurricane or a storm and we need to dump stuff there, we can still dump there like we have in the past. It's just we're not going to leave it there. We'll have to mulch it up, but usually FEMA pays for all that. So eventually you'll see our composting site come to an end except for emergencies or little grass and leaves, but we're trying to send everything to Mullins anyhow. So we've been seeing the handwriting on the walls. So that's why we start taking it all to Mullins. Go and lead into my comments is the bush hog. We've got a lot of lots and a lot of right of ways in town that you've seen this grass growing. The grass is growing in some of these larger areas we haven't been able to cut. Would you believe both of our bush hogs are in need of parts? John Deere parts. John Deere doesn't have the parts. They're waiting for them to be manufactured because nobody's working. Everybody, if you need anything, you need to order any parts or anything, you can't find it. So we have they're broke down. The shop's waiting on the parts to come in. We've searched everywhere that you possibly could search to find those particular parts. But we understand that those lots and right of ways need to be cut, but you need that bigger equipment to cut it. As soon as we get the parts in place from John Deere, we'll get back to cutting those areas that are in need. Also, tonight, our softball team is playing for a state championship in Georgetown tonight. They won last night, 13-1, so they're playing tonight. So that's a pretty good thing. If you wish them luck, that would be great. I know it's decided to be a good thing for the city of Marion.
They always have good softball.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Marion girls always
Back to
have
back.
good softball.
And then just one other little thing, it's been kind of a quiet month with it being the summertime and hot. We have a concert. We've been in the Chamber of Commerce and HMRA, and the city's been in conjunction with HMRA and the Summer Concert Series on Main Street. Last month, True Soul played. They did a fantastic job, and we had a great crowd. This upcoming Friday, the 23rd, have another concert series coming up, and I encourage everyone to, if you're in town on the 23rd, it's a Friday evening from 6 to 9. Come downtown Marion and have a good evening. See the concert. We'll have food trucks. We'll have a good evening. That's all I've got. Councilman Baker.
There was a few things I pointed out to the Salmons. He just shared with me the tree at Circle K, right in front of it. That's the tree we normally decorate during Christmas time is dead, and he's looking into having that removed.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And one tree dead on the North Main Street also, which is it can fall at any time. Any storm, both of them.
Yeah, we riding around looking and saw that same house. Our Christmas tree's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to get that down. Mr. Mincy will probably get on that, get that tree on take a look. Councilman Frazier?
Everything fine. Alan took everything.
One. Councilman Ackman?
What's the latest on trash cans? Big trash cans?
Actually, somebody come and picked up some Saturday. They sold some more, and a company come and picked up some Saturday. I have been in contact with Commercial Credit, and they're facilitating trying to get them gone. They've been having different, this was, I think, the third time somebody's actually come and bought some, picked some up. Still got a bunch of them, but they are working on it. And, and I keep stressing to them that, at some point in time, we'll have to consider a remedy to get rid of them.
They can come by and take them to the store someplace else.
Right.
And sell them off piecemeal. That's all I got. Councilman Ackman? Councilman Tassi?
Thank you, Mr. Strickland, for coming and being a vital asset to our citizens and our community.
Councilman Hunt?
I like to say one thing. and I know Chief is here, right behind me, the Eastbrook Apartments. I think the crowds are starting to gather there now. They move from place to place. And now we're starting to have issues with some of the residents saying that they're having people saturated inside Eastbrook. They don't live there at night. And it's becoming an issue. Some of them are teenagers, but they don't live there. Right. And so it's becoming an issue where the people that live there are becoming ignored because a few other people, a few families did move in there, and they've attracted some activity out there. And I talked to Alan about it as well. And the person at that's at the front chambers there that runs the facility, they're kind of being a little bit more lackadaisical with the behavior. They're not being, and I think as a city, I told Alan I was going to go speak to her, and maybe we should speak to her about maybe not letting zero tolerance like they do with Ann Burroughs and other places, because it solves a lot of problems. They already have an additional issue with the storefront up front that has so many people just sitting there. And so what I'd like to see happen is maybe throughout the night, maybe they should have a schedule that comes through there, maybe sit inside each brick for a second, just that they know that someone's going through there before we start to have issues on that front. People move from spot to spot, and I think now the gathering is right there, the car wash, and right there in the front of that store, and it's trickling back into the residents back there. And so, and I just want to make sure that we pay close attention to that before it becomes an issue like shootings.
Exactly. And I did have a monthly meeting with the chief and captains, and we talked about that particular subject today.
Gotcha.
We had a meeting today at 2:30, and we have a meeting every Tuesday before council meeting with the chief. I saw him back there making notes, and we did discuss that today.
And I think it's fine, because if the presence is there, it pushes a lot of the people who away. Immediately they see some police presence in that area, sitting there, then they have to move.
Yeah.
Because after a while, it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
It's just a point where, and I know that it's the result of a lot of different issues, drugs, whatever. But we still, in this city, how beautiful we've accomplished so much throughout the city. We won't be satisfied until all parts of this city is remedied, not completely, but people know that you just can't sit in the city and cause problems in people's lives.
Exactly.
And that thing is okay. Nobody should be a part of that.
I'm with you 100%. So Chief will take care of it. Thank you. Anything else?
No, it's fine.
Moving right along, have a motion to go into executive session.
Mayor, I move we go into executive session to talk about a personnel matter pertaining to police department and city clerk.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?